All right guys, as promised from the previous video, today we're going to start hacking up and cutting up the rear quarters on my Formula Drift Pro-Am Drift Mustang. So the first thing I need to do is remove all of the extra stuff out of the trunk and anything else that's going to get in the way of me cutting the rear. So let's get started. So a lot needs to happen before I start templating the side of the car and measuring out what I want to cut and cutting the side of the car. So I'm actually going to walk you guys through my thought process on how I'm cutting this car and what I'm going to do first. All right, looking at the back of the car here, the first thing that I'm going to do is actually cut all this straight up, bam, over here as well. Cut that all the way around to remove the rear. That'll give me some space to then cut out these tail lamp buckets right there, and then with that removed I can move into here and start removing everything from the inside out. Now that's my thought process how I'm going to do this, so let's see how it works out, and let's start out by cutting that off. As you can see, this is what I wanted to cut out and sort of make a window. I do have the measurements for cutting out this right here, but as the instructions say from Synergy Race Development, you are cutting out the chassis of the car. Like this right here is the frame rail, and when you cut that, again, it's a lot easier to take away than to add. And the best way to measure from that is going to be from the sway bar mounting bracket. So the only way to get the correct and absolute correct measurement is going to be getting this car up in the air. But I wanted to create this window because now I can carefully remove the tail lamp buckets on both sides and have room. And once I remove these, which this looks super easy, I can go ahead and cut out the trunk pan out of the car. And then what I'm gonna do after that is slowly start templating the side of the car and what we're gonna cut out of the side. This is a huge part of building a pro drift car, and it is very time consuming and you do things very slowly. I do want to point out that in the past I would have taken way more caution cutting this, just like I did with my doors on this car, but because pretty much everything from this point back is not going to be used, I just kind of hastily cut it all out because I know that none of this is going to be used. So just some food for thought, just some things. I don't want to spend too much time making all these cuts perfect when we're just donating, when we're just recycling all this metal and we're not really using it. As you can see, it is nighttime, so I'm going to show you how much of the work that I was actually able to get done. I slowed down a little bit because I had to call Matthew Glasscock, owner of Synergy Race Development, and basically ask him where some of these cut lines were. I know where the frame rail cut line is, but he's going to go ahead and send me some photos. I'm going to look over those photos tonight and kind of study what I need to cut out so I can come back out here a little more better prepared and cut some more out. Those cicadas are loud. I wonder if this is picking it up. So it's nighttime, grinding, it's really loud, it's really dirty. Plus, I want to catch Formula Drift Top 16, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But let me show you guys everything that I did cut out. You can see here, I've got the Mustang pushed all the way to the side so the Jeep can come back inside. But I did exactly what I said. I cut out the rear half, the back panel of the car, and then I started cutting out the tail light buckets. I did it backwards from what I initially said, and I also got the trunk pan out. Now there's just a specific line that I need to cut out of the trunk pan, and I did get that from Matthew. But again, kind of dark. I don't have the best lighting in my garage. I should have fixed this years ago, but I'll eventually get to that. One other thing I got to do is get rid of some more of this sound editing. You can kind of see it right there. It's getting kind of dark, but nonetheless, we're going to continue to work on this car. I feel like it's taking shape. I know it sounds crazy because we're still cutting it up, but it's all coming together, it's all coming along nicely, and we'll eventually get her done. And once it's done, I'm doing a makeover on my garage. I think this garage deserves it. Way overdue. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. All right, so yesterday I found a good stopping point cutting up the rear of the Mustang, and then I had to call Matthew Glasscock to get some measurements from his car, because for the most part, everything being put on this car is going to be from Synergy Race Development. And I just want to make sure I'm cutting the right amount. I don't want to get too carried away. And he was able to correct me on some of the things that I needed to cut. One downside is that I do want to wait to get the Synergy rear over fender, because Matt's already told me that it is a little longer than what you need, so you have to trim it. Let me explain more. So on the Synergy over fender, once you place it over here, there's actually going to be some overhang this way, or you can push it back flush, and then there's going to be some overhang here on the rear. Now I want it to be the same length as the factory S197, so what I want to do is get the over fender, place it so it's here, and then trim the excess on the front here. That way it's the same dimensions of the car that it currently is, and then go ahead and cut the rear off. But I need to make sure I get the correct measurements. Based off the photos that I've seen from Matt that he sent me, I will be cutting this pretty much right here, and then we'll go ahead and square off with some plating, square this off what's left here on top of the rear quarter panel. Now the top of the trunk, you can see I'm following the shape that was pretty much already there. I got some of that seam sealer off. Once we cut this off, I'll be able to clean all of it off. Over here you can see where I haven't done it yet, but it's like a double layer of metal right there. So focus camera. So I'm basically following just this line right here all the way across, and that's how we're gonna cut that piece off. So what I'm gonna do today is clean up this rear quarter panel, start laying down some blue painter's tape, and then tracing out how I wanna cut out this rear quarter. I think for the most part I can cut out the side panel, and that'll help me getting some of these inner panels as well that are in the trunk. But cutting off that rear section like I spoke about will be the absolute last piece that I cut out. So I'll still be able to cut out the side of the car, but not the very back of the car. And then from there, I'll go ahead and continue to remove the final pieces of the floor, and that's how we'll get that rear of the frame off of the car. All right guys, here we go. I have got the side of the car done up and templated to be cut out. Now I'm gonna show a picture of Matt's car right here. And as you can see, he's definitely got way more cut out than I do. But again, I'm playing it a much safer and leaving a bigger portion here on top of the car, and that's where the over fender is gonna be sitting. I also wanna point out that I made this line sort of sweeping upward, kind of for that style. It's not super aggressive, but it is coming upwards towards the back of the car. And once again, about here, this will be cut off. So again, just kind of seeing if I need to take more off, I can, but for now, just kind of playing it safe, leaving more material on here. And as you can see, 25 cents gives you a pretty decent radius here. I've seen where some of my buddies have just done like a hard 90, but I kind of want to just radius that out, make it nice and smooth. And the same thing here for the bottom. I did about 1 inch from this curve going down to this line, and then again drew this all the way across. But we're not cutting here, we're cutting everywhere that the X's are. That's what will be removed. Now same thing from this line over to this point, you can kind of see like the darker dots. It's about 1 inch away from this line, and it radiuses up. This is like at a curve, kind of goes like this. So kind of same thing, trying to keep that radius, and this line kind of has a smaller curve that kind of mimics this curve right here, going up into this radius and then sweeping upward just ever so slightly. Now I would be lying if I didn't say that this is probably the most nerve-wracking part of anything that I've done to this car so far, because I've never cut up a car this much ever in my life. But this is the plan, this is what we're supposed to do, so we're just gonna do it. All right, this is gonna wrap up the work that I'm gonna do for today. One, I need to take a step back and kind of think about how I want to design, if you will, some of the cuts that I'm about to do. And two, it's already pretty late in the day, and that's because I went on a side quest and I was able to find a GT California Special front bumper, brand new, never used, on Marketplace. It was about an hour away north, so I had to stop what I was doing here and went and picked up that bumper because that's going to replace the bumper on the Party Pony. The bumper on the Party Pony currently has seen better days. If I were to take that bumper off and you were to look at the back of it, it looks like that Homer Simpson meme where he's got all the zip ties behind his back to look muscular. That's what that bumper looks like on the other side. It was always kind of whooped. The only thing kind of holding it together is that front lip on the bottom, but the GTCS bumper has that lip integrated, and that's kind of the look that I always wanted. So huge win, was able to score that bumper. It's actually right here, hold on. Here it is, GT California Special front bumper. As you can see, brand new, just ready for prep and paint. This is going to be huge to just have a nice bumper for the Party Pony to throw back on there. But anyways, let's talk about some of the cuts. And if you're following along and you want to do this yourself, I'm going to explain some things to you guys and some things that I personally do. All right, as you can see, we've got kind of the outer shell of the rear quarter completely removed. And let me see if I can get that sweeping line that I was talking about. But you can see it kind of sweeps up this line right here. That's what I was talking about. That's the design. That's kind of what I'm going for. But the reality is, in comparison to Mr. Glasscock's car, he took out way more than this. So this is actually very mild compared to what a lot of people do. Over here, it really didn't matter too much because, again, right about here, that'll be cut off. You're going to notice that when I cut, I draw the line and then I cut almost like an inch away from the line. And that's to leave the marginal room for error for myself. So basically, this is a perfect example right here, is because I am using a cutoff wheel and not a Sawzall. But as I'm coming down and cutting, there's a point where the blade stops and then I come back across, but like I'm not able to get that little corner cut. So I do this little cross right here and then the piece comes off. The problem is if I did this over here, damn, now we got to do some welding and fix it. So I do it kind of further away and then I grind everything down, and that's exactly what I did up here with a grinder. I still need to deburr the edges right here, as you can see, but I just slowly grind and grind and grind and grind, and I'm just very patient until I get the line that I want up against this right here. Now, this smaller radius right here, I'll actually use a Dremel to radius that out. What I mean by that, got my door lock here, hold up, is these small cuts that you see like that, where they're radius real tight, I end up using the Dremel for all of that, especially like down here. Same deal, I just use the Dremel. And then I fade this in, going into a nice, and then I fade this part in, going into a nice flat surface, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here. So same deal, I'll go ahead and get as close as I can, use a smaller Dremel, and then just radius that out. Same deal down here, that way it looks nice and clean. So that's kind of how I do things, and it's really because I'm not a fabricator, and that gives me just that marginal room for error, just in case I do mess up. And that's kind of how I do things. Now moving on to this wheel well. So did notice on Matt's car, part of this wheel well is still intact. Now, part of it was already coming out. You can see that I already started radiusing it. But I realized, hold up, if you look at it from the top, this wheel well is sticking past the body. Now I get it. We're gonna have a wide body here, and it's gonna cover that up. My concern is if we ever take a hit here, will this in turn buckle and then buckle some of the structural integrity of the car back here? Not sure. But what I did notice is that Matt's car is cut a little closer to this bracket right here. If you look down, that's kind of what I was thinking, is just throwing a straight edge down and then drawing that radius line so it doesn't protrude past the body of the car. So I stopped cleaning that up, decided to take a step back, think about some things on how I'm gonna do it, and then I'll move forward in the next time that I come out here to work on the car. Now, I did get in touch with Matt, and we were talking about some of the over-fenders and where they're currently at in shipping, and I'm gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. So that gives me a little bit of time to, oh yeah, I definitely need to cut that wheel well. That gives me a little bit of time to cut that wheel well so it's not sticking out so far. Cut out the rear frame of the car and clean everything up in the rear. This is huge. This is really huge. I never thought I'd see myself building a car to this level and doing this much fabrication myself. Fabrication, but really I'm just cutting everything out. But yeah, it's been crazy, it's been fun, and we're just gonna keep it going. All right guys, Brian from the future here. I actually didn't do any more work on the Pro-Am car because last minute we got pulled for a very special event with K&N, and K&N is a proud sponsor of Tirado Racing and everything that we're doing. And we had a lot of logistics to figure out because it was very last minute, but it's happening this weekend. I'll make a YouTube video on it, but we had to like really put all our resources together and figure out how we're gonna pull this off. It's not a drift related event, but it's still a very great opportunity and something really huge to be a part of. So I'm very excited that they entrusted in me and that they are happy to have me on the team to do this event that we're gonna go to on Saturday. It is down in Houston. It's a bummer that Jordan's not here because that's his neck of the woods, but I will have Jose and maybe Antonio with me to help cover the event. But we will be down there. We're still waiting on a bunch of stuff from K&N to feature out there. And we are gonna be taking the Super Duty because the Party Pony is not in any shape for me to be showing it off, and this car is clearly not done either because that's what we're working on in this video. So if you made it this far, huge shout out. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting. Again, you guys are giving me a bunch of new life in making these videos, so I'm trying to cover as much as possible. And in the next video, I want to take more time to show the details on how to cut the frame rails off of this car. So anybody who's following along and they want to back half their S197 to do the Synergy rear kit, they can see exactly how to do it. So gotten all my measurements, gotten all the info from Matt. Thank you, Matt. The only thing left to do is to record it, but I don't want to rush the process so you guys can see how to do everything. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for the support, and I can't wait to show you what we have planned and what we're doing this weekend. So if you like the video, leave a comment below, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Until next time, peace out.